Welcome to Park City's Market Talk webinar, where you get the latest news about what's been happening in the Park City real estate market. I'm Ron Wilstein, broker at RE/MAX here in Park City.
And I'm Jeremy Wilstein, buyer consultant for the Wilstein team. And we're here to share with you what's been happening in the world of Park City real estate.
And we're broadcasting from our offices here in Park City, Utah. We bring these presentations to you each month on the second Tuesday of the month so that we can be your source of current information about Park City real estate. We want you to be well informed about what's happening in our marketplace and answer any questions that you may have. Now, this recording actually is being recorded in advance instead of presented live like we normally do due to a time conflict, but we're glad that you're joining us on it, and let's get into the update about Park City real estate. Let's talk about our topics here first, and we want to, well, tell us what we're going to do here today.
All right. Well, we're going to begin today's presentation by updating you on what's been happening in the Park City real estate market over the last 12 months.
And then we're going to spend the remainder of the time discussing the topic that we're receiving numerous questions on, namely property taxes. We'll help you determine if you're being overtaxed, and if so, what you can do about it.
But before we get into our topics for today's webinar, we want to remind you can always go back and watch past Park City Market Talk webinars.
And we've covered a variety of topics on frequently asked questions. So just go to ronwilstein.com/webinars, peruse the different topics, and if any interest you, watch a webinar on it, and hopefully it'll be helpful. They're available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So let's get into our topics for today.
Let's do it.
All right. The information that we're going to look at here is actually going to go back 12 months.
And what it's going to cover is closed sales over the past 12 months from August 1st, 2011 through July 31st, 2012. And then we're going to compare the sales activity to the same time period the year before. So the total number of homes, condominiums, and vacant land sold during the past 12 months is up 4%, or 39 sales from the total number of sales during the same time period last year.
When we break it down, we have a chart in front of you looking at homes, condominiums, and vacant land. 491 homes have sold during the past 12 months compared to 453 for the year before. So that's 38 more homes, and that's an increase of about 8%. When we turn to condominiums, we see another increase, about 6% this time, from 451 sales the year before, up 28 sales to 479 this year. So heading in the right direction. Lot sales, however, are down by 27 sales, and this is down from 175 sales to 148 this past year. So that, unfortunately, is down about 15%.
Now we'll take a closer look at what has been selling while he answers this one. The total number of home sales within the Park City city limits is up 14% from the year before. There were 166 sales during the past 12 months compared to 146 the year before. And sales are also up in the Snyderville Basin with 325 sales during the past year compared to 307 the year before. So this is an increase of 18 sales, or 6%.
That's right. And then when we turn to condominiums, condominium sales fell by about 1% within the Park City limits, with 260 closed sales within this past year compared to 263 the year before. So that's very modest change. Really, it's pretty flat. The Snyderville Basin, however, jumped 31 sales, or 16%, from 188 sales up to 219 during the past 12 months.
Yeah, and vacant land sales were mixed, with them rising within the Park City limits and falling in the Snyderville Basin. Within the Park City limits, the number of lot sales rose by 17 sales, with 39 sales this past year compared to 22 the year before. This is up 77%. Lot sales, however, fell in the Snyderville Basin, with 44 fewer sales during the past 12 months compared to the year before. And this past year, we saw 109 sales in the Snyderville Basin compared to 153 sales the year before. So this amounts to a 29% decline year over year.
All right, so that's kind of a snapshot of what's been happening. Some areas were going up, other areas going down, but all in all, we're seeing increased enthusiasm in the marketplace, and that's how it breaks out. We realize that we present each month this broad information, and if you're living in a particular neighborhood or have a condominium that you're more interested in seeing what the activity is in that area or that condominium going back the past year, just give us a call or send us an email. We'll be happy to provide you with that information. Well, let's turn our attention
to what's on everybody's mind this time of the year, namely taxes, property taxes. So if you own real estate in Park City or Summit County, by now you've received in the mail your preliminary tax notice from the Summit County auditor. Bad guy. On the notice, you will discover what property valuation the auditor's office has assigned to your property.
That's right. We just love those tax notices, and they come every single year, and it's no different this year. These notices from the auditor's office tell property owners how much the Summit County feels that their property is worth before sending out the final tax notice that will be due in November. Now, since property values have dropped in recent years, and the value that the auditor assigned to your property may not be right, it is possible that they may be overvaluing your property, and as a result, you're going to turn up owing and paying more taxes than you should.
So there are two key things you want to look at on your notice of property valuation and tax change. The first is how Summit County has classified your property. So if you look in the upper left-hand portion of the form under the title Property Type Assessed, is where you will find how your property has been classified by the county. It will either say primary improved property, non-primary improved property, or non-primary land if the property is classified. If the property is classified as a primary improved property, you will receive a 45% discount in your taxes.
Now that's a lot of money.
Yeah. And you will receive a 45% discount on your taxes if the property is properly classified. So make sure it's properly classified if it's your primary residence.
Now, in order for your property to be classified as a primary improved property, it needs to be a primary home either for yourself or someone else. If the property is your primary home, where you spend the majority of your time, it should be classified as a primary improved property. This will automatically get you the savings.
Now, if the property is not your primary residence, but is the primary residence for someone else, it also qualifies you for this discount.
That's right.
So if you're renting out the property to a tenant and that tenant is using your property as their primary residence, you may also qualify for this discount.
Now, in order for a rental property to qualify for this 45% tax discount, your tenant must be renting the property on a long-term basis. Their occupancy must have begun on or before January 1st, 2012 and run for a year or longer. If this is your situation and your property is not correctly classified, there is an affidavit that you must complete and send into the Summit County Auditor's Office no later than September 17th of this year. Let me pop it up here. This is on the screen here what the form looks like, and we're happy to get that to you if you want. Upon receipt of this form, the auditor's office will reclassify your property and you'll receive the discount that you're after. Unfortunately, this discount does not apply to vacant land nor to second homes or properties in a nightly rental pool. And further, I should say that if you need to be reclassified maybe several years ago, unfortunately, they won't go back except to this current year. So you don't want to miss out on it. Otherwise, you could turn up paying taxes for another year before having a chance in 2013.
Mm-hmm. So we made these forms available for you to download on our website anytime. You can go there and download it. So simply go to ronwilstein.com/appealmytaxes or to our special website that we've set up especially for tax appeals at BuyParkCity.com. You can do all the forms at BuyParkCity.com. And you can download these forms at the conclusion of the webinar by simply going to those websites that we put on the screen.
That's right. You can fill them out easily on the screen and take care of everything that way. So check that out. The second important thing to look at on your tax notice is the value that the county auditor assigned to your property. And this is found in the right-hand corner of your notice, and it basically is entitled Property Type Assessed box. and it's labeled last year's property value, and it shows the value Summit County assigned to your property for this year. Then you look further to the right to the third box, and it's labeled this year's market value, and it lists the value that they have assigned to your property for 2012. I said earlier that the other column was for this year. The middle column is for 2011. Now we're showing the change for 2012, so I correct myself there. And then, of course, they have the anticipated property tax that will be due depending upon whether or not the current proposed budget is approved.
And the market value that Summit County Auditor assigned to your property is not today's value as of August 2012, nor is it the value of your property 6 months ago. It is the market value of your property as of the beginning of this year. It's the value on January 1st, 2012. Now, if that market value is wrong, if it's too high, you have the right between now and September 17th this year to appeal the amount that they have assigned to your property.
That's right. So again, you can go to our website and get some further details on it. Now, since the value of the property set on this form is as of January 1st, 2012, you need to determine what your property was worth at that time and find out if there is sufficient closed sales data to support an appeal to lower your property valuation listed on your tax notice. You have to go back actually over a year to find supportive data of closed sales of similar properties that sold during 2011 to be successful at appealing your property's valuation as of January 1st, 2012. Now, this requires not only knowing the basics about the sales that took place, the address, the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, the size of the property, the sold price, but you also need to know about the condition of each property that you're using to support an appeal argument, any upgrades that may have been done to enhance the property, details on the finishes, the views, other sales that have transpired, and those same sorts of details about them. You'll need a minimum of 3 closed sales to appeal your property value, which in some instances are not available because the market has slowed down. And if there are not 3 closed sales to support your appeal, then you need to find out additional information about comparable properties from neighborhood subdivisions that are nearby but not exactly in your subdivision. And that can be, quite an undertaking actually. So that's basically the process that you want to go through in order to appeal your property taxes.
Yeah, and there are several ways in which you can appeal your property taxes. You can try to obtain all this information on your own, but it's often difficult to get this information on sales that go back over a year. You can ask a realtor to send you the basic data, but often it's not enough information if you need to argue your case in greater detail due to the weaker comparable sales. Or you can obtain this information by hiring an appraiser to do the research and to contact the listing brokers involved in each transaction. They'll typically charge you around $500 for their appraisal, and this will give you all the data you need, but you still have to present your case before the Summit County Auditor and, if required, before the Board of Equalization.
Now, we're offering a third alternative that may be of interest to you. We've been doing this for years, but for a minimum fee, we will go back to all relevant sales in 2011, conduct the necessary research to determine if you have a case to appeal your property's value. If you do, we will then prepare a carefully written appeal argument and present it to the county auditor and, if required, to the Board of Equalization. Our fee for the service is $189 per property, along with 1/3 of the amount that we will save you on your taxes. Others offer the service for $300 and 1/2 of the amount that they save on the taxes, and there often is no guarantee that they will save you any money at all. With our program, if after completing my analysis, we conclude that there is not enough supportive data to win an appeal case, we will refund the entire fee in full. Furthermore, if we feel there is a basis to win an appeal and we present one, but it is not successful at lowering your taxes, we will refund your money in full. So not only is our fee less than what others are charging these days for a similar service, but we offer a 100% guarantee that we'll get you a savings. Otherwise, you pay us absolutely nothing. It's important that you get a benefit out of this, and we don't want to benefit and receive a fee unless you're going to get a benefit. So you get 100% refund if we don't save you any money, And if we are successful at saving you money, then we'll share some of that savings.
So for those of you who may be interested in taking advantage of our property tax appeal program or just want more information about the program, you can go to ronwilstein.com/appeal my taxes. That's ronwilstein.com/appeal my taxes, or go to our special website we set up, BuyParkCity.com. That's BuyParkCity.com, where you can sign up through the website also.
That's right. So we're available to discuss any questions you may have. Usually when we bring this up each year and remind people of the opportunity to save some money possibly, they may have questions, you may have questions. Feel free to call us. The number is right on the screen, 1-800-535-0151, or email either Jeremy or myself, ron@thewilsteinteam.com, jeremy@thewilstein.com. We're here to assist you in any way that we can.
Mm-hmm. And well, we've come to the end of another Park City Market Talk webinar. We're glad that nobody got to join us this evening because we recorded it.
That's right.
But since today's webinar is not live and we recorded it, we won't be able to answer any questions during the webinar. However, if you have any questions or on anything that we've covered or about the Park City real estate market in general, please contact us and we'd be happy to assist you in any way we can.
We also do want to remind you again that you can always rewatch this webinar or any others of our past webinars by going to ronwilstein.com/webinars. We've got a host of topics that we've covered in the past. If you are considering selling your property either in Park City or Deer Valley, please request a copy of our Smart Seller magazine. We'll send it to you for free, and it will explain how our exclusive force multiplier marketing system sells properties faster and for more money. No joke, it really does, so check that out.
And our next webinar, next Park City Market Talk webinar will be held Tuesday, September 11th, 2012 at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. So we hope everybody joins us then. If you have any questions, again, please don't hesitate to contact us at 1-800-535-0151. And from Park City,
We're signing off. Thank you for joining us. Bye-bye.